Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the channel here. So, as you guys can tell by the thumbnail, we got to start picking up the pace a little bit, right? So that means all the parts that I got need to start getting installed. I figured we start with one of the kind of the more easier side of it and then dive into the harder ones like the steering wheel, and then swapping out the fuel pump and then putting in the GPS tracking system. Today, we're gonna start with the PRL expansion tank. Now, this is apparently like a flaw in the design. I'm not really too sure, but a lot of people have complained and they've had to go into Acura with claims stating that their expansion tank cracks. To avoid all of that and to make it look a little better in the bay, figured we'd go with the PRL. Like I showed you guys in the unveiling, I went with the red color just to kind of leave that red accent in the bay, especially since I'm gonna be removing the engine cover, right? And if you guys don't know, I'll show you. This is what I mean. This engine cover comes off once you change the fuel pump up here. So once I go and I upgrade the entire fueling system, that thing no longer fits on there. So I figured instead of I'm gonna lose red here, I have it a little bit over here in the corner. Might as well keep a little red accent. That way I can break up the color scheme in the bay. I know I got the APR carbon kit, right, for the entire front end, but still, I think that's the last carbon piece I'm gonna buy because I don't wanna kind of over carbon my engine bay. We're gonna get started on this. It is not difficult in any sense. This will probably be one of the easier ones we've done outside of the strut bar. If you look here, since I swapped all of my hardware to DownStar, it makes it super easy. So I had to remove these two screws that are holding in the AC line. And then if you'll see right here on the expansion tank, there's only two screws as well. There's one here on the left-hand side, and then there's one right behind the strut bar that I gotta get to. And that's it. And then once that's done, it should come up and out. There's a little grommet, a little rubber grommet in the back that holds like a, kind of just like a standout piece of metal so it doesn't move anywhere outside of it being screwed down. But then after that, you just remove the two hoses. That's it. I read the instructions because I didn't want to mess up really. But when reading the instructions, PRL includes the inserts for the end tank, where you would be putting in your stock hoses again. So we'll get to that part soon, but I'm gonna go ahead and start removing this, and then we'll jump into getting on the new end tank so you guys can see it. But also, before we get this going, I wanted to give a quick shout out to you guys, man. Honestly, thank you so much. There was a ton of growth between last video and this video. I'm guessing you guys like the unveil of all the new parts that I bought leading up to Tuner Galleria. So if that's something you want to see more of, by all means, let me know down in the comments. But I did want to just give a shout out and say thank you. Well, birds are chirping, man. We're getting closer to spring. But I just wanted to say thank you. It means a lot to me. I certainly appreciate it all. We're almost at 1,000 subs, which is amazing. Would have never thought I got this far, but I'm excited. We just got to keep pushing, right? But just once again, thank you so very much for all of that and all the support. Keep liking, keep sharing, and keep commenting on these videos, guys, if you can. It certainly helps the channel and it helps boost, I guess, within that YouTube algorithm, right? Where the more people see it, the better for me. We just get to grow the channel more, which means I get to buy more things for the car, right? But I'm excited. Thanks once again. Appreciate all the love and the support. Now we dive in. All right, guys. So like I told you, we're just gonna begin removing my DownStar hardware screws. Oh, it's been a while since I put these things into. And just to warn you guys, I haven't turned my car on in a couple days actually. It's been kind of nice here in Chicago, so I haven't had to come out and warm up the car a bit. But you don't want to warm it up because then that'll cause, obviously, the antifreeze that's in the car to come to the expansion tank, right? You'll build up air in the system, and you don't want that because then you need to, when you take off the top, you're gonna kind of get like a little mini explosion, and that's not fun, right? Now that the screws are out, you can see this thing is as wobbly as can be. We are now going to remove the hoses. And as you guys can see, you see me twisting it around and playing with it. That's what you really want to do. I should put something here to lock this guy in. I don't have anything, so let's just hope with it not being on for so long, it's not gonna shoot out coolant. If it does, it does. What am I gonna do about it, right? And it didn't, thank you. Thank you, Lord. So that's one down. Now we just gotta get this guy out. And as you can see, this one is in a bit tighter spot. But no worries. I'll still get her out. So you guys seen it, we got the old expansion tank off. And if you want to compare and contrast, right? This is probably be a little difficult because I got a bunch of fittings in my hand, but this is the new guy, right? And you guys have seen it on the unveiling, but obviously look at how much different. The welds are better, just the build quality in general, right? Right, you guys can hear that. And then compared to the plastic, just, oh my God. Whoops, don't turn that down. But just compared to the plastic garbage, right? This, not really good. I can see why this would crack just based on the heat that gets in that bay. It gets so hot in there. Guys, I'm just waiting on HRC. Once HRC says, here's the hood from the HRC car, buy, because it has the vents. There's 2 vents on the top middle portion of the hood. Just keep getting air out of there. It gets so bad. It's even hard when you have to pop your hood after you ran the car. You feel this heat and you just don't want to burn yourself. Just to stay on topic, if you guys notice, there's 2 holes, obviously, one right here for the top rubber hose and then one on the bottom, right, for the coolant. Now, part of the kit brings you different fittings, and this is what I was just making sure of. Let me put this down for you guys. So this is what I was making sure of. I didn't want to do the wrong thing because it gives me 4 different fittings. Now, I reviewed the instructions. What you are going to be using is one of the 8mm fittings and one of the 14mm fittings. The 8 is obviously super easy because that hose is just so small. So it's this little guy right here, and I'll take it out of the packaging so you guys can see. This is the little guy, right? I think you guys can see that. And then it obviously comes with a rubber hose or just a rubber grommet, right? What you're gonna do is you're gonna insert the rubber grommet onto the fitting so that it goes on. And then the instructions also call to add Teflon tape. So we'll add Teflon tape and wrap it around this as we install it. But I'll show you the other 2 fittings. This is the easy guy. There's a massive one here, and you can tell the difference, and that's the 17, obviously. I think it said it's for a Honda Civic Si. I can't remember. I think that's what it said, though. But I'll show you the comparison in between the 2 because I was like, well, which one do I use? You obviously don't want to put the wrong one because then you get a coolant leak and it's not going to be a pretty day for you. If you guys want to see in comparison, this is the 14 is this guy, 17 is this guy. So you can see the difference on the camera, right? And then obviously you can tell by the size of the actual hole for the hose. So that's the difference, right? If you got an Acura Integra Type-S, Civic Type R, whether it's FK8, FL5, you're gonna go with the 14. Not the big guy, you'll tell. You can see it by here, but you can also see it in its width here in my hands. So we're gonna install both of these guys now. We're gonna put the Teflon tape around it. I've already put the rubber, just the rubber seal on the actual fitting. And then we're gonna tighten it down. I had to grab, this sucker was big. I had to get a 22mm wrench. 22 is still snug. It won't fit on this side, but on the open head side, it does fit. So figured a little snug, it'll give me a little more grip to tighten it. But we're gonna go ahead, get this prepped, and then we'll get the new expansion tank installed, all right? Little workout, guys, but not too bad. And just like that, look, they're both on. So I got the bottom guy on, got the top guy on. I got them as snug as I can. I didn't want to strip anything, right? But we're good here. So now we can get to putting it back in the car, get everything back assembled, and we should be good from that standpoint. We just got to make sure we get this little end piece in the rubber grommet that's inside of here. So I'll probably do that part first. And then I got to go pick up some antifreeze because I didn't buy that before I made this video. Just got to find out what coolant the car uses, but that shouldn't be not a big problem. So we're going to go ahead, get this installed, and we'll see what it looks like when we're done, all right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, start with this bottom one. It's not my favorite. And this is where the coolant was at too, because a little bit of it leaked off of here. That's fine, because it's inside there now. I want to get this guy seated first. It's obviously the harder of the two to get to. I don't know if you guys are the same way as me, but I'm right-hand dominant, and it's always a pain for me to use my left hand when I have to. But we got this guy in place. Actually, I'm bringing it up just a hair more. Right there. Bring it up to the end of the hose. Now he's gonna line up this sucker on the bottom. And I don't know where it's easier to see. I will say too, aesthetically, this looks 100 times better than the stock. Let me lock those guys in. Hey, it's right in front of my face. You guys hate when you do that too? I finally put the last hose back in here, clamp this guy back down, and we should be good. The only thing I gotta do now is just put in these last two screws here on the DownStar hardware, and then I just gotta grab the cap for the expansion tank. And had I known that there wasn't one included with the kit, like a cool PRL one, I would have ordered one. So now I'm just gonna go get a Mugen one. And last but not least, we need to get this hose off of the expansion tank and put it onto this guy. So, pretty simple. So it looks like I missed a piece and I found it now. So this little nozzle is gonna go where the cap goes for the coolant tank itself, just like it was on the other one, right? So here's the cap for the coolant, right? Well, the PRL one doesn't come with anything there, right? So you have to put this little tiny cap. I guess you can't see it like that, but it'll be the same as this guy, right? Let's get it on. And just like that, guys, it's done. And this aesthetically makes a huge, huge difference. Just look at how different it makes the entire bay look now. I mean, it looks super clean. This engine bay needs a massive cleaning, and I'll get there soon, but look at that. I think this looks awesome. I'm glad I went with red. There's also black. I also even considered powder coating it, but I'm glad I stood with it. I think it makes the bay pop. I think it does exactly what I wanted it to do in terms of just the overall look of the engine bay here. Once we get the APR carbon here, it'll set this whole thing off, I think. That's it, guys. That's literally how you put on the expansion tape. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Did I get with the right color? Are you guys feeling the red? You're not feeling the red? Would you have rather seen black? Let me know. I personally think it looks awesome. So I'm in love with it. I just gotta turn the car on right now, let it run a bit, make sure there's no leaks. But I'm gonna go get coolant first so I could top that off and not have to worry about anything. But in terms of the installation, it's pretty easy. You guys seen it. 2 bolts on the side for the condenser line, the 2 bolts that hold the expansion tank, and then it's just you fighting. If you're like me, you're fighting with the hose. If not, you're just kind of wiggling them out and getting them out easy. But that's it. So I'm gonna end today's video here. Next week, we're gonna dive in most likely to that steering wheel. I wanna put that thing on so badly, so I need to do my homework and make sure exactly how I take it off. I don't wanna set off any sensors. I don't wanna break anything. And then most importantly, I don't wanna deploy an airbag in my face and end up in the hospital. So I'm gonna do my homework and my due diligence. I'll read over the instructions and make sure I get everything, you know, all organized and whatnot. I will leave it here at that. I am going to go inside, grab the keys, and make the quick run to the store for this coolant. Other than that, you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys seen that this is an installation any of you guys can do. I did it outside, so thank you for joining me in my frozen journey or my colder journey here in Chicago, but it's not too bad actually. I'm exaggerating. It's like 45 degrees today, so it's not terrible to work outside. Enjoy the rest of your day. Next week, catch me for that steering wheel. And then outside of that, you guys already know, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, comment down below. It just helps further push on the video and get these things out to a much bigger crowd. You guys have been doing awesome like that, like I gave you your kudos and your thanks earlier. So I hope you guys keep supporting the channel. I hope you guys keep enjoying the content. But I'll leave you at that. And as always, go ahead, look, and take it easy, because I am out.